All right. Hello, HyperCycle community. My name is Raymond Mata, and I'm heading up the tech support and customer success team here in HyperCycle. Today, we're going to be giving you a video tutorial guide to help walk you through the steps in creating a tilling subscription in HTS. As you know, HTS has been with us here for the good part of the last year. It's had its ups and downs and challenges, and will soon be replaced in the next month or so, sometime in June, early July, by the new HMS system, right? HMS will be tilling, and HMS will also be the beginning of compute. So we're really excited about that. So between now and then, we want to help everyone who wants to get into that tier one, front of the line benefit and perk package that being an HTS subscriber will give you when you're moving and migrating into HMS. All right, here we are. So first things first, make sure when you are going to HTS to set up your tilling that you are in the HyperCycle dApp, dApp.hypc.ai. I say that because a few of our tickets in the support system were from users that were going to an old version of our dApp, and they were having issues with HTS because some of the functionality was there and some of it was not. So make sure that you're going to dApp.hypc.ai. Once you get here, you're going to be connecting your wallet. Right now, in the current version of the dApp, if you're using MetaMask, which I am in a browser, you're going to click Browser Wallet. It's going to request a connection. You're going to connect your wallet. The wallet that you are connecting is the wallet that has your node factories in them on the ETH chain. Okay, I'll do a little bit at the end of this video to show you the ANFE claim portal and what ANFE looks like when it's in your wallet. We'll do that at the very end of this video. For now, we're giving you a guide for HTS and setting up your tilling inside of your node factories. So once you open up and you connect your wallet, you're going to click on node factories. You'll see the node factories in this wallet listed in the list here. In my case, I know that this last node factory here, 5307, needs tilling set up. I'm going to click on that. So here we are inside of the node factory management screen. You have your license ID here, which will be useful a little later. These voting actions you can ignore for now. They're not part of the HTS tilling steps. All the voting actions are actually take place in a wizard. You don't really have to worry about voting in this particular aspect of setting up HTS. HTS used to be a button up here, and it's moved now down into the settings section down here. We'll come down and click on Update Tiller. When this page opens, you'll notice up here that the URL changes to Tilling Wizard and then the node factory number. I'm pointing that out because when you're setting up a tilling for your node factory, you want to make sure that you're under the node factory that you want to set tilling up for. Every now and then we'll get users that accidentally assign the same tiller to two licenses. So one license will work and the other one will turn off and stop working. And one of the reasons that happens, I think, is because people go into tilling, but then they switch around the licenses once they get in there. So just make sure you're under the right node factory. Right now, we have 5 HTS tilling nodes. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are now all full. 5 was just recently spun up actually yesterday. It got spun up with 512 slots, and we can see here there's 396 additional tillers that we can create here, and that's what we're going to do. And I'm showing you this because it's important to understand when a service is available in the dApp. So for example, you may see up in this area, HTS tilling node 4, as tillers expire, they might become available. So you could try to grab a slot in there. My best recommendation for you moving forward is to stay away from any of the other nodes that have been full and focus on creating your subscriptions here inside of HTS tilling node number 5, okay? So the very first step is to click on New Tiller. Here is where we have some users get a little mixed up sometimes. You want to make sure your attention here is in the right place. So this is where you choose the subscription length of the tiller that you want to create. For the purpose of this particular tutorial, I'm going to use 1 month. One of the reasons I'm doing that now is because the HMS system is launching in about a month. However, one thing to keep in mind, HMS is going to give you bonuses and credits based on the subscriptions that you have, one, and also based on any lost uptime that you might have. Okay, so you're going to be compensated for lost uptime in terms of credits within HMS, and your tilling subscriptions will also move, and their lengths and credits will move with them, including the history of your tilling over to HMS. Okay, so you can actually pick whatever you like. For the purpose of this guide and tutorial, I'm going to be choosing 1 month. Because I currently have a zero balance, you see right down here, it says 0 USDC. I don't have any USDC showing in this tilling node that could be used to create a tiller. So I have to deposit that first. And the way to do that, you come in here, you click pay. I'm using the 5 USDC subscription. I see over here my MetaMask wallet has opened up. I'm going to confirm that transaction. Each transactions are pretty cheap right now. The gas is low. I'm going to confirm that transaction and wait for this deposit action to take place. Okay, so after that deposit is made, the wizard should automatically take you back here. The pay for tiller step has been made, and now it's time to sign and authorize the creation of the tiller. We're going to sign this transaction, confirm. This is just a signature request. Create the tiller. This step is what actually communicates with the node manager and says, hey, I need to spin up a tiller aim so that I can till my node factory. That's what this step is doing. It's actually creating that instance on HTS5. You get your very own tiller aim assigned to your node factory, and that's what we're paying for here. This step, depending on the communication that's happening between the dApp and the backend that's taking care of this, could take a few seconds, maybe even as long as a minute. So we'll be patient here with this process and see what we get. All right, looks like your tiller has been created. That did take a good solid minute and a half in this particular case. So just keep in mind that patience in this particular step is important. Once you see the create tiller check mark, you can go ahead and click on next. And what we'll see when that happens is you're going to come back to HTS Tilling Node 5. You scroll all the way down to the bottom of the tilling screen. You'll see that we have a new tiller number 117 here with 30 days left. That's the subscription that I chose. My next step here is to click next. Now, there are some cases where a tiller has been created and the user leaves the dApp and comes back and needs to assign their tiller to their license. What you want to make sure, again, is that you're always in the correct node factory that you want to be in when you come into this wizard. You come down to the node that you created the tiller on, and you look for a license that has this 0 at the end of it here. That means that it's created but not assigned. Once you see this, you click next. Here we're going to be signing the messages that associate and assign the node factory to the tiller. Okay, that's what we're doing here. Click sign. My guess is that there's quite a few people doing this right now. That's where some of the delayed responses are coming from the dApp. So you can see in this process that patience is important. So keep that in mind as you're going through here. And when we wrap this particular part of the tiller tutorial up, I'll go over and show you what's happening with the ANFE side of things. Okay, here's my signature request that's come up. I'm now going to, and notice what I do before I click on the next button, I wait for that green check mark. So making sure all those steps are taken. That's done. We're going to create the voting power. This particular step does incur a small fee. I'm going to confirm that fee. So this is where you're using the voting power that this Node Factory application has to authorize the creation and signing of the Node Factory to a tiller. So that this is really the first, I'd say, demonstration or example of your voting power. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of different things that we can do with our votes and our voting power as the network evolves over time. This is just the first example of that, and why having voting power is important. I know sometimes people are like, why all these votes, why all these steps? I think we'll be able to appreciate it more later as the network evolves, and you get to see what the real power of actually having a vote and the capability to discreetly vote on specific actions has for you as a Node Factory owner and operator. We're going to create the vote now. Another fee here for that. Close extension. Sometimes these steps progress very quickly, and sometimes they're a little slower. So as long as you're not getting errors and you see the progression happening, then you can rest assured that it's being done and it'll be done correctly. We're going to vote on this last piece here. There are the fees associated with these votes. And finally, the last message, which is adding the message to the tiller that actually finally bonds the node factory to the tiller for tilling. It's the last step in your tilling creation wizard. All right, tilling wizard complete. This is awesome. So the next step is something that you're going to be doing about an hour after you create and associate your licensed node factory to the tilling service in HTS. You're going to be looking to see if that tilling is working properly, right? You want to kind of check up on it. So the way that we check up on things is we open up another tab. I'm going to first come back to my node factory here. This is the node factory that we just created a tiller for. I'm going to come down into settings, update tiller, and I'm going to make sure that this section of the application shows my tiller that I created and also the association of that tiller with a license. Okay, so I'm kind of confirming and verifying the previous action by coming back into the tilling wizard and looking at HTS tilling node 5 that I set this up on and what it's showing for the association of the tiller and the license. Okay, we got our tilling screen back up and running here. HTS tilling node 5. So there's a new warning that comes up here. This is kind of nice. This is a new addition to the dApp that just came out today, actually. So we created the tiller and we assigned. You notice now there's a license assigned here. It's not just zero. It doesn't say 0. It says the actual license number, time left. And here, the current tiller already has an assigned license. Assigning a new node factory will interrupt the current tilling process. So if you went to assign another license to this tiller, that new license will take over, and this license will stop tilling. Now, that's just what the app is telling you here. So I just wanted to make sure that the license was associated with the tiller. That's the reason for coming back in here and checking things. Okay. The next step we're going to take is come back to the node factories. Come here. I'm going to copy this license here. See this license ID? Copy that. I'm going to open up a new tab. And I'm going to come to the HyperCycle Explorer. Created a link for myself. This is the explorer.hypercycle.ai/license/license number. I'm going to click OK here. And notice I'm getting an error while looking for license. What this means is that this license has not yet communicated with the Merkleizer, the HTS tilling system. And that's why I said earlier, you want to make sure when you see something like this, that you come back after about an hour and see if this changes to another message. For example, a message to the effect of this. So here we have a license that's been up for 92%. It's got downtime. It's tilling on this node with this history of tilling. Okay, this is what it should start looking like. Obviously, a lot less uptime. So that's what you're going to be seeing when you have a working tiller for your license, is this. I'm going to come back over to the dApp now, and I'm going to show you a few extra things that you can do if you're having issues with the dApp. So for example, if you come down into settings, you come down to update tiller. Let's say this page turns up blank or is missing the HTS tilling node 5, like you don't see it here, or anything else sort of seems off, and you want to kind of start from a fresh cache. The dApp uses its own local cache storage for the browser. It doesn't use the browser's cache. It has its own. So you have to clear the dApp cache manually. And the way that you do that is on your keyboard, you press Control, Shift, and I. And what you'll see when you do that is a developer console mode that shows up here. You see this little pop-up that just showed up here? If we come over to application, we can right-click under local storage here in this tree on the left-hand side of this window. It's going to look like this when you first come into it. You're going to open up this little arrow here. You're going to select the dApp, and you're going to right-click and then select clear. Okay? Once you do that, you've cleared the cache for the dApp. You can go ahead and then refresh the page. Notice when you do that, you lose some of your preferences. For example, my night mode preferences went back to day. That's one thing that's lost. When you come in here and you go back to update tiller, you'll see that it's not showing all the tillers right away. It has to repopulate the data because you've cleared the cache. So that step that you just saw is a step that you want to take when you're having issues creating a tiller, when your screens are coming up blank, or for some reason or another, the process is not progressing to completion. That's when you want to use that specific step. Control, Shift, and I will bring up that application window, and then you click on the application and then clear cache. I'll show you one more time. Control, Shift, I. In this particular case, it remembered that I was in application, but you might get it pop up in network. Okay. Make sure you come up here in the menu to application. You select local storage. You come down to the dApp and you right click and clear. Okay. I'm not going to do it now because I've already done it, but that's what you want to do if you're having issues creating tillers, if the screen isn't populating, or you're having any other issues progressing within the dApp. This seems to clear up a lot of those issues. So this is the step that I would take. Okay, well, we have gone through the whole process. Here you see tilling on HTS tilling node 5. My license is associated. I have 30 days left. And by taking this step, The other thing that's happening is you are bringing yourself into the bonus and reward package that you're going to get when you move over to HMS from HTS. Okay, so by being a subscriber to HTS now, there are some bonuses and incentives that you're going to get when HMS comes online. For those of you who have been with HTS from the very beginning, you're going to get all of your packages and everything you've paid for, all the extended bonuses on Chilean subscriptions, all of those things will be migrated over and multiplied actually and given additional credits on HMS. If you've lost uptime due to HTS issues and that we've been having in the past, you'll see those compensated with credits toward your Chilean subscription. Okay. Okay. What I'd like to show you now is the ANFE claim portal. Okay, this is just a little add-on to this video because a lot of you are asking about this question, so I thought I'd bring it in. So when you come to this ANFE claim portal, you're going to be coming to dApp.hypc.ai/claim_ANFE. That's the website for this claim. You're going to connect your wallet, MetaMask, connect. Okay, now in my case, I'm already claimed, okay, and I actually already have my ANFE, and I'll show you what that looks like. So what this will look like for you when this is undone is these little node factories down here will not have this little green thing because you still have to claim them. And then there'll be a claim button here. You don't have to select each one when you're doing this claim. You'll just see all your node factories that are in the wallet that you're claiming with. You'll click claim, and the claim process will start. And those requests usually take about 24 hours, excepting weekends. Let me show you what the ANFE actually looks like inside of the dApp. So when you come over to the dApp now, if you notice, this menu item here is new. This is a network selector. So right now we have actually two networks available. We have Ethereum, which is what we've been on, and now we have Base. And Base is where the ANFEs are being delivered to. That's where the ANFEs are sitting. That's their native network. That's where we're going to be interacting with ANFEs moving forward. So when you click on Base and you come down here to where it says ANFEs, and the ANFEs have been delivered to you because you've already made your claim, you're going to see your ANFEs inside of your dApp connector here, okay? You can click on it to get some information about this here. So I just wanted to show you that this is what it looks like after the ANFEs have been claimed and delivered into your wallet. You can see them in the same wallet that you've been using your node factories for, that you've been setting up HTS and tilling for. It's all under the same dApp, dApp.hypc.ai. Okay, well, I hope that helps you all understand a little better what's happening here. That answers most of the questions. Okay, now I would like to speak a little bit to the hardware wallet communities. Obviously, a lot of us out there, I use a hardware wallet myself. What I've been seeing, observing, is being part of the support ticket system and the tickets that come in from users that are using the hardware wallet. The hardware wallet experience with the dApp is very hit or miss. It works for some people and it does not work for other people. What I know about the hardware wallet environment for the dApp right now is there's one hardware wallet model, the Trezor Safe 5, that's officially working with the dApp. It's been tested by the dApp. It's supported by the development team in the dApp. Trezor Safe 5, that's the hardware wallet model that has been tested and is supported. The rest of them, hit or miss. I have people that have ledgers and other kinds of wallets, keystones and stuff like that, and other models of Trezor. And they works for some of you guys and it doesn't work for other guys. So that's the statement that I'm making about hardware wallets. But with that said, there are steps that you can take to make it work, right? Sometimes it's not working because you need to enable something or you need to reinstall something. So I'm gonna speak off to a list of things that I've seen that helps people get it working, and then I'll also put that list in the video so you can see what those things are. First thing you want to make sure, and this is true really for any function of the wallet, you want to make sure that you disable other wallet extensions that are in the browser. So for example, Phantom, Rainbow, or any other wallets that are not your primary dApp interacting wallet, like MetaMask, you want to disable those wallet extensions from running and being active on the dApp.hypc.ai site. Okay, that's number one. Number two is you're in crypto world, you're in AI world. Some of us need to use VPNs. Okay, and I've seen a couple of instances where the VPN itself, usually initiated in the browser, is actually interfering with functions of the dApp. Okay, so that's another thing you want to keep in mind is the VPN. Make sure that's disabled when you're in the dApp. The third thing is what you saw previously in the video, which is to clear the cache of the dApp itself. You do that with a Control-Shift-I function or a Command-Option-I. If you're using Mac, the Mac is Command-Option-I. The PC is Control-Shift-I. That'll open up the developer mode, top menu, application, local storage, dApp, clear. Make sure you do that. The fourth thing is to delete and re-add the MetaMask wallet extension and then re-import the hardware wallet. Now, keeping in mind that make sure before you do any of that sort of deleting of wallets that you have a backup of that, either the key itself that you can export from MetaMask or the seed phrase that was used in the creation of the wallet that you can use to restore the wallet. Make sure you have one or both of those two things before you delete any wallets, and re-add them and re-import and associate the hardware wallet with MetaMask. If you have antivirus, Norton, McAfee, whatever is out there now, disable antivirus from interacting with the browser and any other way that, real-time protection, you can take that off while you're interacting with the browser. And that might help. Sometimes these antivirus interfere with some of the steps that the dApps are taking. The sixth thing is to remove and reinstall. So for example, if you have Ledger Live, right? You have the Ledger Live program that installs the bridge between the device and the browser. Remove and reinstall Ledger Live. That might help you. Reboot the PC after you do that. You can try switching to another browser. So if you're using Chrome, go to Brave. If you're using Brave, go to Chrome. There's been instances where some users have success in the Microsoft Edge browser, which is available on Microsoft. I don't get a lot of users using Safari or reporting Safari usage. And I haven't really seen a lot of that activity. It's either Chrome, Brave, or Microsoft Edge. And the very last recommendation, and an important one, probably one of the more important ones, if you're using a hardware wallet, make sure that blind signing is enabled in the hardware wallet. That's usually a function within the settings menu of the hardware wallet itself. Make sure blind signing is enabled. Those are the things that you want to be aware of when you're using a hardware wallet with this system. And keep in mind that if you're having trouble and you want the dApp to work and function properly, and you're having trouble with your hardware wallet, transfer the assets over to a MetaMask extension, get everything done, and you can always transfer them back into the hardware wallet if you like. Just keep in mind that the assets need to be in the wallet when you're interacting with the dApp in most cases, okay? So that finishes things up here for the HTS tilling guide and tutorial. A few extra things about the ANFE claim portal and how that works and what that looks like in the app, and then some notes about hardware wallet users and what you guys are experiencing. And I just want to wrap up with saying thank you to this community. It's been a long run, a long runway, and we really appreciate your loyalty, your patience, and as you can see, we're delivering. And I really kind of got the sparkle in my eyes when I saw HMS, and you will start to see more of that. HMS is really laying the foundation for compute, and for bringing subscribers of HTS with their bonuses and credits into that new system and having more individual expression over compute and how your nodes interact with the network and start to actually get rewards, right? See revenue streams. The other thing to keep in mind is that when you subscribe to HMS, you'll be part of a reward pool that is proportional to your share of that pool. That's proportional to the size of your ANFE, okay? So just making sure you guys understand that. Again, thank you so much for being part of this journey with us. If you have any questions, of course, come reach out to us in the Telegram chat, on X, wherever you see this video. Ask us questions, open up a support ticket if you need to, and we'll be happy to help you there, okay? So thanks very much for your attention. We'll see you soon.